I want you to say that more than you've ever said it in your life this weekend. I want you to say that I love you because everything we come together for in this time, in this most critical time, in the best time, people tell you that Detroit is on the way down. Detroit is on a springboard on the way up. People tell you that young people, well, just talking to somebody about this, we got to find something for young people to do this summer to keep them off the streets. I don't want to keep you off the street. I want you to be on the street, everywhere. When we founded the Coalition Against Police Brutality, and I want to give you the whole name, the Detroit Coalition Against Police Brutality, Repression, and the Criminalization of a Generation. We decided in 1996 that we would not let this generation be criminalized and not have the opportunity to rebuild the world. This is what we're fighting for. We are here at the Allied Media Conference this year, and every year there are more hearts, there are more souls, there are more stories, there are more connections, there's more love, there's more hope, there's more happening than anywhere that I go in the year. And I mean that, seriously. And the reason why that is this. I was going to show you a clip from what we did with Peace Zones for Life, but I'll talk about it now. Before I go into that, I want to tell you a couple of things. We have a multi-generational mix here. Some of you may go through some of the things that I've gone through from the days of Black Panther Party to now. Some of you may not. But I want you to remember these things. I want you to remember what sustains you. I want you to remember that it's really, though it's about you, it's really about us. I really mean that. Though we talk in this terms of we want to promote this personality or that personality, the personality, what we want to promote is the personality of building community. We have to build community. And I'll tell you how that happens. I'll tell you how it happens. Couple, 2-3 weeks ago, can't remember, maybe it was 4. All of you here, probably, most of you, have heard of the name Ayanna Stanley Jones. You probably heard of the name Jerry Blake, young man who was shot down on the streets of Detroit, young girl who was shot by Detroit police. What you don't know, maybe, is that 2 weeks before that, there was a Detroit police officer shot. So they asked me, they said, I went out there to see what had happened, because that was one of the neighborhoods where we were working on peace zones. They asked me, they said, Ron, what do you think? They asked me, what do you think? Well, I said, I think that the gang squad and special response team and the violence reduction task force, all of these people, I think that it's only a matter of time before something happens where there may be a mistake and somebody may get hurt. Because the young man that was caught in the shooting of the officer said it was strange that they would do that, because normally if you're in a drug raid or whatever, a person would not try to shoot it out with the police. So it was strange to me. So I was trying to ask questions like everybody was asking. So for the next week, across the city, people said, how could he say that about the officer? The officer died. How could he say that? For those of you who ever go to church, the minister at the church had men like this on the cross saying, how can he say that? How can he say that? Thousands of people. So I had to ask, what was the purpose that this was happening for? 2 weeks later, Ayanna Stanley Jones died. lot of the things that I had said were reflected in the fact that there was overkill on the streets and a little girl died. We went over there, we worked with the family, and so forth. That was the time that I wish I hadn't been right. But it wasn't just up to me. I was saying what I had heard in the community, that young men who were being sprawled on the street, they were saying, if that continues to happen, I'm going to shoot back. So I was trying to give a warning. I was trying to raise the question. I was trying to say we can be better people in this. We don't have to turn guns on one another. We can resolve this. We can build peace. I was trying to say that, and in the process of saying peace, what came back at me was not peace. But in the final analysis, after Ayan Jones died, 3 weeks after that, the other day, we had a march for the healing of Detroit when every hip-hop artist in Detroit came out and stood for the healing of the city. We had people march from the east side, from the west side, converge together, and we had something like that thing you saw in Poetic Justice when Tupac and all, when they walk into the picnic, and they said, we're not family. Why are we here? When Tupac said, when it comes to barbecue, everybody's family. Everybody was family there that day. And I want to make it simple. When we talk about peace zones for life, it's about rebuilding family, rebuilding connections, resolving disputes before we invite police, about de-escalating violence among us so that we don't have to have somebody else to come in and police us. As I conclude, you're going to see this sign more. We've been working on the northeast side of Detroit where the average age is 25 or less. We've been working in the middle of Detroit where young people are being stopped routinely. And we've been working where people, in addition to building the peace zones and the violence reduction, they're building farms so that people can work. They are mowing grass that's 8 feet high so that people can go to a picnic. They're coming together so that young people don't have to stay off the streets. Once again, they can reclaim the streets. Yeah. We're in a situation now, as I conclude, where when I was meeting with the people who were talking about healing Detroit, I was sitting there and I was thinking over the years that I've been involved. And I look out at your faces and I say, don't ever be discouraged. Don't ever quit. Because you don't know what the next moment is going to bring. Continue to work. Continue to be vigilant. Continue to love. Continue to have hope. Because in the re-spiriting of our souls and the rebuilding of community, we will find the love in the community that we see. I told them at this, in the Heal Detroit March, I said we came together to heal the city. We sought to create a movement to transform and create hope and heal the city. But in coming together to heal everyone else, we found that the healing was in ourselves. We have to know that the healing that begins here this weekend, that you take and all of the skills and the hope that you have, that healing must be applied to your community, and that we have to build community, because some people don't know what community is. We have to start that community here and let it spread and heal and hope, because the new movement isn't about anger, hostility, pain, but it's about hopefulness, transformation, and change the world outside.